I'm Megan Cloherty.
Quarantining guidelines are changing in Prince George's County Public Schools. I'm Ken Duffy.
A former Walter Reed department head is sentenced for taking gifts in exchange for government contracts. I'm Mike Murillo.
Good morning, Friday morning, 2 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Monica Ricks in New York. President Biden's infrastructure bill is still up in the air as the House debates whether or not to pass it. CBS's Linda Kenyon is on Capitol Hill.
House Speaker Pelosi has made it clear she will not put a bill on the floor if she doesn't think she has the votes to pass it. House progressives don't want to pass the bipartisan $1 trillion traditional infrastructure bill without first getting assurances that there will be movement on a second bill. It's a much more pricey proposition of social programs that is a tougher sell for moderate Democrats. And then there's the Senate part of the equation, where progressives really want this social infrastructure bill, but a number of moderates are balking at the size and scope of it.
Brace for high heating bills this winter. The price of natural gas has more than doubled since this time last year. Energy analyst Phil Flynn.
If we do get a cold winter, I'm afraid you could see heating bills just skyrocket. You could see prices triple from what they were a year ago. And so this is a real danger, not only to the people at home, but to the economy overall.
Prices are more than 5 times higher in Europe and Asia. School boards across the country say they're under violent threat over policies like COVID mask mandates, and they want President Biden to step in and help. Here's CBS's Jeff Pegues.
School board officials are calling for help tonight.
You cowards!
Writing to President Biden, the National School Boards Association asked for help investigating the violent incidents and suggested the FBI monitor threats to board members, likening these heinous actions to domestic terrorism.
On Capitol Hill, Facebook is under fire over how Instagram can harm the mental health of its young users. Senators accuse Facebook of concealing negative data, and they want the company to make changes. Higher child care costs are keeping more than 1 million women from work, and CBS Money Watch reporter Megan Cerullo says it's now taking a toll on the economy.
1.6 million mothers with children under the age of 17 are still missing from the workforce, and that's in large part because they don't have access to affordable childcare. And the longer they're out of work, their skills will erode, and it'll become increasingly hard for them to re-enter the workplace, therefore eroding a lot of the progress that has been made by women in the workplace.
Scarlett Johansson has settled her lawsuit with Disney over the streaming release of Black Widow. Johansson filed the suit back in July, saying its release breached her contract and ultimately deprived her of potential earnings. Settlement terms have not been disclosed, but both sides said in a statement that they will continue working together. Johansson has played Black Widow in 9 Marvel movies. This is CBS News.
Never miss a moment. Top news from WTOP 24/7, 365. Listen on air, on Alexa, and on the WTOP app.
California is in big trouble. Soaring crime, overregulation, and high taxes are forcing taxpayers to flee. Now, Newsmax's Rob Schmidt looks at this dangerous situation in his special series on California. Watch Rob Schmidt on Newsmax at 10 p.m. Eastern. Newsmax is on every major cable system. Just check your cable guide. Get Newsmax on most streaming services or download the free Newsmax app on your smartphone. California's nightmare is spreading. Watch Rob Schmidt on Newsmax tonight for this special report.
September is Suicide Prevention Month. Aaron Egan, Director of Community-Based Interventions for Suicide Prevention with the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, says taking a moment to reach out can help prevent suicide.
The health and well-being of our nation's veterans is VA's highest priority. We want veterans, community leaders, and veterans' loved ones to know that by reaching out for support and resources today, suicide can be prevented later.
Go to reach.gov/SPM to learn more.
Brutal new streaming hit from South Korea is now taking over social media.
More than 14 billion videos with the hashtag Squid Game have appeared on TikTok since the show debuted on September 17th. The Netflix streamer pits poor people against each other in a childlike reality game show competition that ends with an execution. A phone number shown for contestants in the first 2 episodes was real. The South Korean woman with the same digits says she got 4,000 calls and texts in a day. This week, Netflix co-chief executive Ted Sarandos said there's a very good chance Squid Game will be their biggest show ever. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
WTOP at 2:04. Good Friday morning. Welcome to a new month, 1st of October, 2021. Clear, quite chilly, low humidity this overnight early morning. Low of 45 in parts of the area by daybreak. We're at 56 right now. I'm Dean Lane. Good morning. We do indeed thank you for taking us along for your Friday morning ride. Topping the local stories we're looking at for you, we begin with the search on for a man this morning who police believe killed 3 people in Maryland in the last 24 to 48 hours. Investigators in Allegheny County think 46-year-old Jeffrey Burnham, and he is of Cumberland, murdered. He is of Cumberland. They think he murdered an 83-year-old woman last night, actually Wednesday night this week, in that same community and stole her car. The car was found Thursday in Howard County, where police say he shot and killed 58-year-old Brian Robinette and 57-year-old Kelly Sue Robinette. It happened in Ellicott City at a home on Kerger Road. Investigators say they are Burnham's brother and sister-in-law.
We believe that after shooting and killing both of those victims, Mr. Burnham then stole their 2007 red Corvette with a black top, and the tag number is a Maryland tag 8BX5121.
Sherry Llewellyn this morning with Howard County Police says they don't have a motive in the case, and they're not sure if Burnham is still in the area or not. Burnham is considered armed and dangerous this morning, so anyone who spots him or the Corvette is urged to call 911 immediately. If you want to check out Burnham's picture, get a lot more information as well on the case, just go to WTOP.com. It's all there for you. WTOP at 2:06 says we've been reporting D.C. parents are quite concerned right now about their kids' safety in and out of the classroom because of COVID. Now, lawmakers on this issue, we hear, are working on emergency legislation that addresses virtual learning and attendance rules at the same time.
Ward 3 Councilmember Mary Che expects the bill will get the 9 votes it needs to pass October 5th. It calls for Mayor Muriel Bowser's administration to make changes to school protocols, expanding virtual learning for students who have or live with someone with a high-risk condition, places new requirements on COVID reporting, and broadens the excused absence policy.
And it's good. If we're provoking the mayor to do something that we think should be done, well, that's perfect.
Che says the council stopped short of mandating student vaccines until hearing from the public. Bowser can veto emergency legislation, but the council can override that veto. Megan Cloherty, WTOP News.
The Prince George's County Public School System making changes to its quarantine policy.
At the recommendation of the county health department, anybody who's in close contact with someone who's positive with the virus and displays symptoms or is unvaccinated must quarantine. Unvaccinated students and school staff can come back after 7 days with a negative PCR test and no symptoms. For anyone who's fully vaccinated, no quarantine is required unless they test positive, and they must get a test 5 days after exposure and wear a mask for 2 weeks. And the school system is starting to randomly test a pool of students, no matter their vaccination status or symptoms, to get a better sense of infection rates. Ken Duffy, WTOP News.
Friday morning, 1st of October. Welcome to a new month. 2:08 on WTOP.